So moving on then to our team gold press conference, I'd like to introduce to you your Olympic eventing team champions. Great Britain winning their first Olympic team gold since 1972 with the lowest team score in Olympic history of 86.3, represented by Oliver Townend, Tom McEwen and Laura Collett. So I'd like to open up the floor to the questions with the same rules applying. I'll invite you to come over to this microphone here. So, any questions?
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
First of all, congratulations. Marvelous performances all days. It's been fantastic watching you guys. Tom, could you give us some insights about who you train with and your way up to here to the Olympics, please?
Who did you train with and how did you get to the Olympics?
Oh, how did I get there? Long answer or short answer? The long answer is basically many years of riding. My parents, Pony Club has seriously helped me all the way through. And then from there, I've been on National Lottery and the World Class scheme, and they've really helped me out. I've had, at the moment, I'm training with Ferdy Elberg, who's been here with the Russian dressage team. Been with Tina Fletcher jumping. So, yeah, I've been super lucky to have the best training. But when I was younger, I took myself off training. I've been to the funnels. I've been to Marcus Ennings, Carl Hester's. Yeah, I just took myself off, and you're always learning with horses. So as much as I can possibly learn, I'll try and take in. So, yeah, keep going and maybe go again somewhere this year.
Any other questions? Sally, thank you.
Hello, Sally Spickard from Eventing Nation here. I have two questions, so I'll just go ahead and ask both of them. The first one is for Tom, actually. I had read somewhere that Toledo De Kerser is not the easiest to show jump train at home. But he's a remarkable show jumper in competition. So I would just love to hear a little bit about how you manage that at home, how you train him. And then kind of for all of you, you know, the British eventing system has been so well supported with the lottery, and it seems like you had such depth this season. And as you all have said multiple times, you had to really fight for these spots. So would just love to hear some reflection on the system that has brought you up to this point from each of you.
Go first. Right. Well, yeah, Toledo doesn't jump at home. I have to rent a venue in the winter. And how do I manage it? I mean, the less you think about it, the less you worry about it. And he turns up at shows like this and jumps like that. So I'm not changing anything. He's gone, Kiso was his last run. That would be his last jump. Before then it was Bicton. So he's literally gone from show to show without jumping in between. I personally don't panic about it. He loves his jumping. He wants to be careful. He's a phenomenal jumper. All I've got to do is turn up myself on the day and keep him relaxed. So yeah, the best thing to do is not to worry about it. I never have done throughout his whole career. And for me, it's probably what makes him quite so special is he is a little bit unique in that factor. And yeah, he thinks the poles are made of lava, so that's even better. I'm not the best speaker.
Laura, we'll let you reflect first on having a gold medal around your neck.
Yeah, it hasn't sunk in yet. It's going to take a while before it does. It's been a dream come true just to be here this week, and I can't really put into words. I feel like someone's just going to pinch me and I'm going to wake up from my dream. But it's been an unbelievable experience from start to finish. From the moment it got selected, you know, it's anyone who's followed Team GB, you know, to be able to get selected this year has been a fight, and it's been tough. It's been a long road, and every competition we've gone to, we've had to, you know, be competitive because they had such a depth of talent. And we turned up here knowing that there were several riders at home, you know, who have brilliant horses as well, who would have, you know, been thinking that they should have been here if we'd messed up. So you know, it's just been a relief to get the job done. And we knew coming here that we had three of the best horses in the world, and you know, their performance on the cross country yesterday, you know, it proved that just how talented they were, and it meant that we had a nice bit of breathing space going into the show jumping. And they, you know, they all jumped brilliantly. Yes, my horse and Oliver's had a rail, but they still jumped phenomenally well, and Tom's horse is a freak, and you know, we're so lucky to have these horses. You know, like Oliver said it before, they're horses of a lifetime. To have 3 of them on the same team, that's why we're sat here with a gold medal.
Oliver, you've been particularly silent. What about you?
I think Laura's covered most of it there, which is good. Again, just the chances of having the 3 horses, as Laura's just said, all at the same time, all with jockeys that are able to steer them in the right direction, and for them to land sound at an Olympics at the same time is just a very, very amazing thing. And I think that that's possibly why it's, you know, taken so long to get here, that there's such a large pool of riders and horses in Great Britain to select from, that it's actually very difficult to get it right. Whereas with these 3 horses, they actually selected themselves. The form was absolutely inarguable. 3 5-star winners, all within recent years, and all have stayed sound and arrived here in the best possible form. And for that to happen, obviously loads a bit more pressure on us, because we come here knowing that we should be winning if things go our way, and to win is just a huge relief. And when it finally sinks in, I think we'll be having a big party, and it'll be more than relief.
Yes, tapping the white shirt first, thank you.
Good evening, Philip Barker, Inside the Games. Many congratulations. Under the lights there, your thoughts. What was it like? Because eventing doesn't normally happen. The final event is normally in the afternoon. So I just wonder what your thoughts were on competing under the lights. And also, you join a very rich lineage of British eventing, 1972, 68 and 56. Just what are your thoughts on sort of joining that roll of honour of people who've actually won a gold medal for eventing? I know it's probably before your times, but you know, it's good to actually be part of that history.
Firstly, it's very, very special. Although it was before our time, I think all 3 of us would be self-proclaimed eventing geeks, so we're very aware of what's happened in the past, and we're very aware of the names that were in that roll of honour, and to join that bunch of names that we've heard every 4 years, to be in that, to be added to that list, is a very, very, very special feeling. The question about jumping under the lights, for me, it didn't worry me. You know, we're on a good surface here, which normally a 3-day event, the better you're doing after cross country, in general, the worse ground you get in the show jumping, because it's in reverse order. So we felt it was a very level playing field, the same for everybody else, and we just had to do our job to the best of our ability. And as Laura and Tom have said already, we're on phenomenal horses, which makes it a lot easier.
Laura, you mentioned that was the first time your horses jumped under lights. Did you feel it made a difference to him?
Yeah, he definitely felt like he, you know, was a bit spookier. He's not normally spooky in the show jumping, and I think, you know, there's the shadows and the reflections, and you know, the whole experience for him. He's still pretty low mileage, and he's only a 12-year-old, so he's got a lot to learn, and hopefully he'll come away from this experience and will have learned something. Whenever he's made mistakes before, he's learned from them and improved, and you know, this is just another one of those moments that he's got to learn to cope with different occasions, and you know, jumping late at night and under lights and in an atmosphere like that. So yeah, hopefully next time we'll jump the clear rounds.
I mean, Tom, with the rounds you produce, it probably doesn't seem like it made much difference to you, but what's your response?
I absolutely loved it. I could do it every weekend with the same amount of pressure. Yeah, absolutely. He loved it. I loved it. It's made it feel real special. I mean, the stadium and the facilities here are second to none. They have been phenomenal. And yeah, thank you very much for for having us to begin with. But actually, amazingly, with such vast amounts of empty space and sand, it still felt like an incredible occasion, and it felt special, and it felt like an Olympics, and it was great, to be honest. Loved every minute.
Any other questions? Yes, Kim.
Firstly, have you practiced doing the lap of honor, because you were as synchronized as the dressage riders? Have you practiced?
Just in our heads, just at the hotel. Without the horses normally.
Okay. My serious question was, how did you prepare them for the long trip and the heat here, as you all are based in UK, I think?
Well, I started galloping my horse with a rug on, head to toe rug, fleece rug, so that he got used to having to work in a, when he was basically overheating, and I think it definitely mentally prepared him to have to keep pushing through and keep going when it was extremely hot. I personally think we've been very lucky with the weather these last couple of weeks. I know, well, I was expecting it to be a lot worse. We as riders, we went in the heat chamber at Bisham Abbey and had to do a lot of exercise in the heat chamber to practice, and I can tell you that going cross country was a hell of a lot nicer than riding a watt bike in the heat chamber.
Lads, anything to add?
We didn't like the watt bike in the heat chamber either.
Funny that. Okay, Reuters, you had a question?
Hi, Shadia Nasrallah from Reuters. I have a question, given that, it's been such a long time since Britain has won the gold, whether you think this might attract more young riders to the sport in the country, and Tom, you mentioned lottery funding, etc. Can you speak a little bit about how the current situation is in terms of people who might not have a lot of money but are interested in the sport, and how that might change with this victory? Thank you.
For me, that's the main hope with this, is that actually a lot of people sit back on TV, whether it be at Pony Club or kid at home, wherever you're from, it doesn't matter. We've all got here because of hard work. We've worked many hours, many more hours than most people would work in an office, and certainly many more hours than I know most other people do. It's hours of dedication, the love for our sport, and mainly for us, the love of the horses. We've loved it. There are openings everywhere. There's always yards you can go to, always places you can work. I've taken myself off and trained at other people's places, and all you got to do is ask. Everyone's always there to help. Obviously, they might watch this on TV and hopefully they've got inspirational idols to look up to, but there's no problem with asking for help. Like, we've asked for help today in the show jumping courses with the British show jumpers, but yeah, it's all there for them to do, and you just got to get your head down and strike towards it. But yeah, with the UK lottery funding, like, we've had our help, we've had training. Like Laura was saying, we've been on a watt bike and a heat chamber to prepare, which was horrific. But yeah, there is support and there is funding and there's backing. And one thing in this community is everyone does look out for each other. It's obviously slightly dangerous, and it's also a passion for everyone. So everyone will make sure you get to where you need to go.
Oliver, what would you say to a child that wants to now follow in your footsteps?
That hard work works. It's as simple as that. There's no room for the poor me attitude. You get up every morning early and you work hard, and if you work hard and you stay straight, then then the opportunities are there for you to take. And it really, although we are in an expensive sport, it doesn't boil down to money. It boils down to work ethic and attitude. And if you have the work ethic and attitude and a little bit of talent, then there's no end, there's no roof to where you can get to and what you can achieve. it's really down to, as I've said, the forwards thinkingness, the digging deep, and the times that you have to scrape yourself up off the floor with a couple of broken bones and get yourself back on. So it's a tough sport, but it's a life choice, and it's at the minute a very, very enjoyable one.
You make it sound so glamorous. Polly, you had a question.
Polly Bryant from Horse and Hound. Well done to all three of you. It's been amazing to watch you for the last few days. I think it's probably fair to say that all three of you were perhaps slightly disappointed with your dressage scores. I know all of you have had better ones, and you came out and reflected on that. At that point, were you, to now be here with the gold medal, at that point, were you thinking that you had not made a good enough start? Did you think you would still be here, sitting here with the gold today?
I think we'd have liked a bigger cushion, but no. We were all super confident in the horses. You've seen them go cross country and show jump today. And yes, we were probably all disappointed because we all know we could have done better. And actually, it's probably more boils down to us knowing how good our horses are and trying to show them off on the world stage, and more letting them down than anything, and showing everybody else how good they are. So I think it just added a little bit more pressure, a little bit more intensity. But I don't know if everyone would agree with me, but I think we always knew we were on great jumpers, and we were still in gold. It was just by a bit less than hoped.
Any other questions? Yes, thank you.
Well done.
Sorry for having to ask you that, Oliver, but how was your feeling, or how was your analysis? What happened to you in the second round on the first vertigo, on the second jump, the second fence?
Yeah, I mean, if you jump horses, you have fences down, and unfortunately I had a fence down, but he jumped a very good 2 rounds. Today wasn't my day, but I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of good days, probably more than my fair share, and it gives me the hunger to keep going. There's still room for improvement, a lot of room for improvement, and still another prize that eludes me, which will keep me hungry and keep me jumping out of bed and keep me getting on the novice horses, hoping to find the next superstar and put things right.
Any other questions? No? Well, I think we have the final word from Performance Director Richard Wagard. How proud are you of these guys?
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, the pressure these guys were under, because they came here in, as we know statistically, in a really strong position. 39 years and not winning that gold medal. So they've been carrying the expectations on their shoulders of the whole of Great Britain, and they've absolutely delivered. Not only, and I said earlier, have they got the character to deliver on the field of play, so have their horses, but they've also got the technical skills. So all credit to them. They'll be going home as national heroes. Got to wrap them up and keep them safe for Paris.
Well, the England football team might not have brought it home, but you guys certainly did. So a round of applause for our Olympic gold medalists. Thanks very much, guys.
And that was awful. Come on.